Perfect.
Well, today I'm feeling like you did last night. Pretty quick.
Good morning, everybody. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming in today. I know I didn't even think about it when I originally did this, knowing this was Easter weekend, but as I was explaining to Tom, it was kind of ideal timing for everything because we had our forgiveness ceremony here last night. We're doing this today. You have Easter tomorrow, so it's just kind of a feel-good weekend kind of deal. So actually worked out pretty good. So you will see Reverend James Patrick up there, and it's advertised as James Silva everywhere else because I'm an advisor here at Sweeha. And the Reverend part is relatively new. I finished up my spiritual studies program back in December and finalized that part of it. And we'll be very honest, it's not something I thought I would ever actually be doing because I think I got caught up in the Reverend title and what that meant in traditional senses. So it never really quite rang true for me. Until one day I moved back here last February, and Casey, who's the director of the school, cornered me and wanted to know why I hadn't done this yet. And she said, "Do you know what it is to be a minister?" And I was stuck with the traditional way of thinking. And she explained to me that being a minister basically meant to be of service to others, however that is to be. And that kind of brought a whole new light to something I hadn't given much thought for before, which is why I decided to proceed and continue with the ordination ceremony in December. So Patrick is actually my middle name, and for business purposes, you'll find out a lot of times there's a business entity or a business name that kind of stands out for whatever reasons. And when I had done the life coaching program here, I was always big into high energy, laughing, yelling kind of speaking, and when we talked about the business, it was James Silva and James Patrick, and I had a lot of people that in my classes felt James Patrick just kind of rolled off the tongue. It just came out very easy. And you think motivational speaker, James Patrick, it's like, okay, I can see that on a book, I can see that on a presentation. So I decided to run with it, and that's where that ended up staying. So if you see two different names, it's not two different personalities. It's just that's one in this school. So, with that being said, I'm going to actually read this little piece because on the website that I created, and all my information is up here if you want to get it now towards the end. I sat and wrote this probably about 3 months ago, and it took me 3 years to get to this point. I graduated from Sweeha in '09. As I said, for people who weren't here before, I moved back to New York for about 2.5 years and took my business in a way I never thought I would. And the special needs coaching changed my life and really put into perspective what was important to me and why was I waiting on things that I should have been doing all along. And a lot of blocks and a lot of challenges, quite honestly a lot of excuses is what it came down to, because I wasn't accepting responsibility for what was getting thrown at me time and time again. And I don't know if any of you have ever been in this place before, and most of you probably have, is there have always been people in your lives, whether it's friends or family or just random strangers, that you seem to attract a particular kind of person that wants to come to you and talk to you and listen to you. You just have that way about you, that personality, and for whatever reason it keeps happening again and again and again. And you give so much of yourself sometimes that you don't leave yourself with anything else, and emotionally, physically, mentally drained. And that's what it did to me for a while, so I shut it off. Doesn't happen that easy. So what ended up happening is the problems became larger, the people kept coming to me, and things just get thrown at me over and over and over again, because in this case, yes, that's where universe is saying you're not paying attention. This is what you're supposed to be doing, this is what you're meant to be doing, listen up. And everybody's got that aha in their life, and that's what it was for me. So the special needs community really made me take a step back in my own life and say, okay, there is a Where's Your Motivation says that as I finished writing my first seminar, I discovered that I truly am following my passions to the fullest extent, and I thought to myself, wow, I wonder how many other people can say this. It took me long enough, and the truth is I was finally fed up with being stuck and not getting anywhere with my goals and dreams. I hit one wall after another, and to be honest, part of it was definitely being lazy and lack of effort on my part. And being honest with myself, I had great ideas and intentions. The problem was that the ideas never left my head and the intentions never became actions. This is why I wrote the seminar. So here's how I see it. The metaphor, and you'll find I love metaphors, and anybody that knows Richard and anybody else here, it's all about visualizing. So how I see it is that I think about my favorite actors and actresses studying and rehearsing to get into these characters, these roles, for these big parts that they all want to get so bad. Then you have this director, and the director says, okay, you're going to audition for this part. Ready? Go. The actor, actress, reads their lines, acts out the scene. The director either loves it and says, yes, you have the part, or they critique them and say, I didn't believe you. So they try again, and the director always says, what's your motivation? Where is this coming from? You'll find that with your businesses and in your personal life and your professional life, you have to be emotionally, physically, mentally invested in what it is you love to do. So, he says, where is your motivation? Because there's always a motivation. Drudge it up. Dig deep within you and figure out what that is. And that's part of your process. The roles never stay the same, and the actors are constantly evolving, growing their skills, much like we do, until the next big break. If they want to be seen, if they want to grow and move forward, then they need to believe in themselves, and their audience, in this case your clients, your business partners, whatever, they need to believe you. So I ask you this. I am the director. I'm your family, I'm your friend, I'm your client, I'm whoever you need me to be. What is your motivation? What are the emotions? What are the feelings? What are the memories that you need to bring to the surface to make your part believable? For the students and clients I support every day, it is my job and my pleasure to have them reach deep within themselves and be vulnerable, to expose their talents and pull out the performance of a lifetime. It's about developing confidence in your own self-worth, and confidence so that no matter what the role, people keep coming to see you because they believe in what you do and who you are. Constantly growing and evolving to fit the next big opportunity, and reaping the rewards and lessons of the efforts that you put into it all. Intentions are great, but without action, there's no result, no reward, no point. Life is meant to be lived, each day to its fullest, with the knowledge that most people in a lifetime will die with their music still inside them. So what's your motivation? What role are you working towards today? How bright is your star planning to shine? And are you taking steps to get there yet?